Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Oh yeah, it's Scare Talk. I am Danny and I'm here with Jailbird Joel.
Nice. Hey guys, what's up? Jailbird.
Yeah. So we're going to continue our franchise, or Nightmare on Elm Street franchise review series with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, Dream Master. Master of the Dreams.
Yes.
All right, Joel. Who is in this?
All right, this one stars, can you believe it, Robert Englund.
Again?
I know. It's crazy. He's going to be in Stranger Things Season 4. Lake Placid versus Anaconda.
I already said that one.
Did I? I did. There's probably going to be a couple of repeats here. I chose like the best ones off of his IMDb. Strippers versus Werewolves.
Oh.
Did not pick that one before. Lisa Wilcox. She is Alice, our new Nancy of the movies. She is in a movie called Men Seeking Women, Nightmare 5, and Watchers 4.
All right. And
Brooke Theus, she is Debbie. She's in Menendez, A Killing in Beverly Hills. Just the 10 of Us, a TV show she was in 47 episodes of, which I saw was like the entire show. And Catwoman.
I think Nance or Heather Langenkamp's also in that.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, in the show.
Yeah,
she is. Yeah, she's gonna show up in a future episode. I'm gonna put that on there too. This was written by William Kotzwinkle. He did the story. He directed he wrote the Fat Boys Are You Ready for Freddy music video.
Yeah.
Book of Love novel and screenplay.
Oh. And
that's really all that he did. So,
okay.
Brian Helgeland did the story and screenplay. This is a Oscar-winning writer right here.
Okay.
He wrote Man on Fire, Mystic River.
Oh, wow.
Payback, Conspiracy Theory.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he's good.
So you were serious? I thought you were.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I was serious.
Wow.
I think it was from Mystic River.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And Jim and Ken Wheat did The Fly 2, The Birds 2, Land's End, and Pitch Black. And this was directed, this is another good director, by Rennie Harlan.
Oh, yeah.
He directed Die Hard 2, Deep Blue Sea, and The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Some good writers and some good a good director. So, Let's see if this stands the test of time.
All right. So this one is about Freddy Krueger returning once again to terrorize the dreams of the remaining Dream Warriors, as well as those of a young woman who may be able to defeat him for good.
Oh, man.
So, as it
for
says...
good?
Yeah, for good.
Okay.
As it says, he's coming to get the Dream Warriors from the first, or not the first, but from the third film, Dream Warriors.
Yes.
And he does that pretty quickly.
Yeah, in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. So he just ends that pretty much. And
I don't know what took him so long to... He was able to kill them pretty quick in this one. Why not in the last one?
So yeah, and then the story goes on more so with Alice and her brother and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And, a couple of other side characters.
Yeah.
Too. Okay, so this one, I've watched the documentary for all the films, and this one was interesting because the guy, the director, Rennie Harlin, he was like broke, living, nearly being evicted. He was like done. And this pretty much saved his life. And then he became Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
You got all these other jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know how this movie really put him in line for those.
For Die Hard 2? Yeah. There had to have been something in between this and that.
Because, it's a cool looking movie.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Some people called this like the MTV Nightmare on Elm Street. Because MTV was gaining popularity. Music videos were coming out. And this one looks like that, It
does.
It does have that look.
Whether or not that's a good thing, that's.
So, let's talk about it. What are your positives?
Okay, so this one, again, we're getting creative with the kills, which I do like. I do have in this one. So, one of the characters... He's got a waterbed. And he looks down, and there's a naked woman just, swimming around in his water.
Yeah.
What?
That happens.
Of course, yeah. Naked women are always swimming around waterbeds. You would think that would be, a first indication that you're probably dreaming.
Yeah.
At that point. But then he gets sucked into the waterbed, which is kind of... The whole scene, as ridiculous as it is of a kill, is a cool scene.
Yeah.
It's... How did she get into that waterbed? Has good effects.
Yeah.
For
they use a whole tank. There's a whole tank of water under the bed that they use to actually film it.
Yeah. I figured
Pretty
it was something like that, yeah. So that was kind of cool. I like that. One of the characters is completely sucked dry.
Yeah, I like that part.
Yeah, that was a cool kill. It's it
she had
really...
asthma or something.
Yeah,
and so that's how they were killing her. Yeah,
and then she's just a skeleton, not even a skeleton, just she still has skin on her bones, but yeah. And then. This was just gross. One of the characters is turned into a giant cockroach.
Yeah.
At the end of that. Cool effects.
Yeah. The effects were pretty crazy.
Yeah, the effects were good in this movie, for sure. The acting is not as good as the previous movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Alice. I think she's... she... turns out in 5 to be kind of a badass.
Yeah.
But she's... the acting kind of takes a little bit away from that for me. But, yeah. So, I like that they're continuing on the... from Dream Warriors, even though it doesn't last that long.
Yeah.
They're still continuing on the story of that for a little bit. And... I liked... I don't think Freddy was as serious in this one as he was in the last one. This was the beginning of his just silly character.
Oh yeah.
And so I like all that. So I would pretty much say those would be my positives for right now.
Okay. So I really like Freddy in this one. Mm-hmm. They definitely took the comedy route for this one.
Yeah.
One of the scenes you were talking about when he deflates the girl, he's at the front of the class, cutting an apple with his knives on his fingers, and he goes up to her, and he says, want to suck face?
Oh, yeah.
And then he's, like, making out with her, and she's, like, deflating.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she's, like, dead, he, like, stops and just kind of lets her flop, and he says, "You flunk." It's just...
Yeah.
I just love that stuff. And Freddy is on screen a lot.
Yeah, he is.
He's on screen a ton. And he has more lines. One part I kind of like, it was kind of gross though, where he's like, they're serving the pizza, and he
and it's like the souls are like meatballs.
He like stabs one of them with his glove.
It's like her boyfriend, like, I think,
Yeah.
soul face or whatever. Yeah,
The
again,
scene
cool
with
effects though.
Yeah. The scene with the cockroach, you know, I've seen this movie a number of times, so I'm kind of like used to it now, but it is pretty gross.
Yeah.
But what's cool leading up to that is when the character is like lifting weights, and her like arm just
like
breaks and
snaps back. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was so crazy. And I like the scene where, I don't know why she walked to this movie theater. That was kind of random, but Alice goes to this movie theater, and she's sitting and watching a movie, and the popcorn and her soda just kind of start floating toward the screen, and then she starts like getting sucked to the screen.
Yeah,
it was really cool looking.
Yeah, it was.
It looked awesome.
Yeah,
and she goes into the movie, basically. She hits the screen and falls into the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's like a time loop. So her and her boyfriend are trying to get to a different character because they know that she's like next in line to get killed by Freddy.
Yeah.
And they get into the car, they drive to the house, she gets out, runs to the house, and then she runs back to the car, gets in the car, so they're like in a loop, which is what happens in dreams sometimes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool because they were not aware really that they were in a dream until it kept happening to them.
Yeah.
So in this one, you know, you can tell when it's a dream, but it's not super obvious right away. Like in other movies, sometimes it'll be all foggy, or you know, you can tell right when the dream starts. Like, you just know. Like, it actually shows them fall asleep or something. In this one, it's, you know, once things start happening, you know it's a dream, but it's not like super obvious right away. So I like that. I like the score. They bring back the theme for this one. The karate scene. I thought it was funny.
Is that a positive? Okay.
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
It's just so dumb.
It is.
It's so dumb.
And yeah, I get it, because like the Karate Kid was pretty popular around that time, and I can understand putting a karate scene into a movie because of the popularity, but
he's a character who's like practicing karate throughout the movie, and he's hitting his dream. He's fighting Freddy in like this dojo. Yeah. And Freddy is not there though. He's like invisible. So he's fighting an invisible Freddy, and Freddy is like punching him and kicking him and stuff. So, but we don't actually see him. Yeah. So it looks like he's just fighting the air. Yeah. It looks so dumb, but it made me laugh. So that's like the theme for the rest of these movies. Like, it's so bad. So but I still have fun with it. So I can't like knock it too much. Yeah. Overall, this movie is bad, but I like it because it's funny.
Entertaining. It's entertaining for sure. Yeah.
And I like the way it looks. You know, I like the way it looks. The effects are great. Some of the best of the whole series. Yeah. Yeah. Acting, not very good.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's passable for a movie like this, but it's not good.
All right, Joel. Negatives.
So, I have a couple. One of them you mentioned as a positive, being the karate scene. I just thought that was maybe a little over the top and just ridiculous. I mean, you can't really expect too much. Ridiculous is pretty much what these movies are.
Yeah.
But it was just like it was pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
The whole karate scene. And honestly, my biggest negative would have to be the end of the movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How they actually kill Freddy.
Yeah.
Is pretty bad. Like, it's not even prompted anywhere in the movie.
Yeah.
She has like a mirror, and she says something like "here" or something like that. She's just like, as if she was told this is how you are supposed to defeat Freddy.
She like says something or she thinks something like evil seeing evil or seeing evil seeing their own reflection. For some reason, she has this like epiphany that she needs to do this, and this is how he's gonna die. And so she just shows him his picture or his reflection. And that's how you defeat Freddy. Apparently, just show him he's never seen his reflection before. I guess not
in the real world, or it wasn't even it was a dream.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. These movies get a little convoluted towards the end, and like, I don't know what's real, what's not, but apparently showing Freddy his own face is what defeats him. And then he, like, you see like the souls trying to escape his body at one point from all the people he's killed, which he's never showed that before. Like, that was never a thing. Apparently it's a thing. And then once she shows him his reflection, the souls start escaping his body, and he's like, ah!
And it looks so crazy. Sometimes, like, I mean, I don't know what CGI was like back then, if there even was. But sometimes practical effects are just a little too much.
Yeah,
it makes it just look so.
Yeah, they can be a little bit too much sometimes. It's cool that these actual people are working on these practical effects, but sometimes there had to have been something there that couldn't have been practical.
It was
like the souls escaping the body like that.
Yeah, them like coming out of him.
Yeah.
It was real.
Wow.
It was like robotic and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't actual people doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and it was like this giant Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
So they made it look like it was just Freddy on screen, but it was like this huge wall.
Oh, wow.
So people were actually in him.
Yeah.
It made it look like that, at least.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, I mean, it's so much effort, so much time and
for
energy.
Not a very good scene.
It's like so much went into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's groundbreaking stuff,
Yeah.
It's...
Oh, I'm sure it was huge when
Yeah.
the movie came out. Like, it probably wasn't taken as cheesy back then as it is today.
Yeah.
But it's just, it was bad. Just that whole sequence, that whole last scene was just bad. And
yeah, I wasn't a fan of that either.
Yeah. So the way they kill off Freddy, it's like, so how you start the movies is he's just already there. Someone has a dream, and Freddy's just pretty much there.
Well, he got
except for the
the dog.
This is the one that the dog in Kincaid's dream pissed on something, which
on the ground.
It was fire
where he was buried.
Pissed fire. And then that fire, like, it made this earthquake, and that's how he it's like, okay, maybe it's better that we don't know how Freddy comes back in these movies.
Yeah. He could just be back. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it was really cool how the like bones came together.
Yeah,
and like how the skin came on the body and stuff. Like it's just so much that goes into doing those effects. Like. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Yeah, I forgot that's how he came to be. That's the only movie that you're actually shown how he comes back from being dead from the previous movie. He just appears.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think
except for maybe Freddy vs.
5.
Jason, but even that, he's already there.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it with 5.
So
any other negatives?
Those are probably my biggest negatives that I have for this movie.
So yeah, I agree with that final scene and how they kill him is really weak. So like some of the powers, like the strengths, I guess, of the characters that die go to Alice somehow. So she's like able to like fight now because her brother died and he was this karate guy. Mm-hmm. And
that's true. Because when what was the
Kristen?
Was that Kristen? Yeah. Her powers were transferred over to Alice, and then I guess all of them were, or just
I don't know.
Some of them.
I think I don't know. But it was funny when she had like the fighting strength. She was like fighting him and like punching him and kicking him, and he's just like laughing. That was funny. The acting was not good. That end. Yeah. That's really it for me too.
Yeah.
It's just, again, not a good movie. But
most of these are not like good movies.
I have fun with most of these, and this one is no exception. So okay. Yeah. Let's grade it.
All right. So I'm gonna give this one a 75.
Okay.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right. I got a 74.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I was going to have a little higher score than you. Guess not.
I mean, it was entertaining. Like, I liked that it's a continuation of the third movie.
Right.
For a minute. But still, it's a continuation. Yeah. And I do like the kills in this movie. It's just, my biggest issue was the end of it. But the majority of the movie is pretty good. It's decent for these types of movies. So this was actually, I think, until Freddy vs. Jason, this was the most successful box office wise. I did read that it was also the most expensive. Yeah. To make, and it was also the most profitable. So I think it made $42 million, and I think it cost like 20 something million to make, which you would think is kind of a lot back then for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Yeah.
It was a pretty ambitious movie. Just a lot went into it. You can tell.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this scene where Freddy is like on the beach, and he like comes through the water like a shark.
Oh yeah.
Comes through and like blows up a sandcastle, and he's like standing there, and he puts his sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. Okay, so 75 for you, 74 for me.
Yep.
Okay, well, stay tuned for episode 5 of this series for part 5.
Yeah. And
go ahead and listen to 1 through 3 if you haven't yet. Once we get through all these, we will be ranking them. So you wanna get all caught up. And ready for that big boy episode. So go find us on Facebook at Scare Talk Podcast, on Twitter at Scare Talk Pod. Please give us a follow. Subscribe to this show if you want to get alerts on when the new episodes are coming out. And give us a message or a recommendation, a rating also on Apple Podcasts would be awesome. And this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the fire-pissing dog bite.